All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. All right, guys, so today was a banging day in the market over here. Bulls did end up taking the stand there, taking the wheel, and now we are pushing higher. Buying QQQ, NASDAQ, and S&P 500, they do look like they're about to break out. They're about to go for that next leg up. I know, through a sea of doubt, we've made it all the way back up to the top of the range. QQQ had a very bullish close today. Got the close above 521.95. That is the level we were looking for. Daily close over in the weekly update. That was going to be the trigger for further upside. That was going to be the level that if we could get that daily close above, we would know that bulls are in full control. All right, or at least they're taking control, and they're likely going to be taking the wheel for that next move, that next big move. All right, it's probably not going to be small biscuits over here. We're probably going to be pushing all the way up 532.10 to 533.82 over the coming sessions, if I had to take a guess. Now, today's move was done on low volume, so I will keep that in mind. I will just remind you of that. But I'm just going to say, guys, the Mag 7 stocks as a whole look like they're about to rip. That's plenty of fuel for the NASDAQ over here to continue pumping. All right, we're going to go over the levels first on SPY, and then we'll go back over to QQQ. Go over the Mag 7 stocks, and I'll just point out a few tickers that I am currently keeping on my radar / currently playing, and you guys can do whatever you would like with that information. I will just remind everyone, please remember to leave a like. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. There's no other channel here on YouTube that does it like we do it. There's no other channel where you can literally go and you can have continuous analysis on SpyQQ. You know exactly the levels, the trigger levels that you are going to be looking for moves that you can trade in real time every single day, 5 days a week, Monday through Thursday. And then we have the weekly update every single weekend. All right, there's no channel that does that specifically. But on top of that, I give you plenty of trade ideas to get continuous gains out of these market from. Okay, if you guys are having a good time, please remember to leave a like on the video so we can push this out to the YouTube algorithm. Okay, it is a heavily underrated channel, and we are doing our best over here to provide as much value as possible for absolutely no cost to you. Again, there's no other channel like it here on YouTube that will give you all of this for free. All right, let's get into the video, guys. Spy, exciting freaking stuff today. Okay, very exciting stuff. All right, QQ, you got to close above our trigger level over there, 521.95. I'm just going to say the next big level here for SPY, guys, is going to be that 595.54. That's the top of the current range going on. This is a 3-week range. I'm just going to point out how the weekly candle is shaping up so far, guys. If we push up through this, oh, this thing's going to expand just like that bad boy over here, okay? You see what happened? You broke above over here. Well, guess what? You ended up going for a little rip over there. Yes, you pulled back over there. But what happened? It also got bought up, all right? I think we're about to start that next leg up. I think VIX is still going to end up taking out this low over here. And the fact that we didn't do it all in one day over here is a great thing, which tells us, you know, over the coming trading session, we probably are going to continue drifting low over here on VIX. I told you for the bearish scenario, what was the trigger? Say it with me. 2044. 2044. What is the high of day? It is 2045. Okay? We said it. Put this alert on your radar. Put it on your trading view. If you don't have the paid version of this, just watch the level. Okay? We knew that was the bearish, trigger over here for the bearish scenario. Well, guess what? You rejected right there, and you sold your freaking butt off, and you closed underneath Friday's low. We're likely going to continue falling over here. Next stop, we're talking 1811, underneath there, 1770, and then underneath there, 1715. And at that point, we're going to direct our attention over here to the 4-hour RSI. We're going to wait for the next 15 minute. We're going to wait for the next 4-hour bullish divergence to form over here, and then we're going to look for our next bounce. But for the time being, this is going exactly according to plan. All right, coming back over here to SPY, let's go over the levels. Above 593.20, we're talking 595.54. That's when this weekly candle starts getting ready to expand. All right, and that's when, we get some boom booms going over here. Maybe we get a gap up tomorrow. I'm really not sure. I'm just going to tell you guys the levels to be paying attention to. 593.20 above there, 595.54 above there, 598.51, 602.48, 608.13, and 613.23. if you are someone who is still not having clean reactions off your levels, okay? If you're having a tough time tracking price action, guys, you're going to need to become a chartist. You're going to have to be good on these charts to be having good executions with your trades. If you are someone who's still not, doesn't have the whole levels things down, support and resistance, steal my levels right here. Free for you. Take them. Take them. They're for the taking. Okay? But these are the levels you're going to be paying attention to. You can see where these derived from. You can, you can study these things. Okay? On the downside, we're watching 589.08. 583.24. If we do take out 583.24, oh, big bull trap going on here. Coming down to 200 DMA. If we do end up coming here, taking out this low over here, Friday's low, I assume we're not going to stop here, and you are going to get this thing right over here, okay? But until that becomes the case, you are bullish on this market. You have no reason to be bearish on this market. The market is about to march higher. I'm going to go over why these Mag 7 stocks are probably about to freaking explode. All right, so that's SPY. We're going to come over here to QQQ. All right, and we're going to make that a red level right there. On the upside, we're talking 525.97 to our 527.92 supply zone. That is where, sellers end up stepping in off the open right over here. But just keep in mind, guys, we actually got up here to 532 in the overnight session last Thursday going into Friday, okay? I am not saying we're going to go straight up there, but I'm telling you right now, the fact that we did get over this supply zone right here, 527.92 down to 525.97, the fact that we got over there in the overnight session shows us that we probably don't have too much supply in there, okay? So yes, it's the supply zone we're paying attention to. You got a lot of crap going on here. You're going to probably have some sell orders sitting up here considering where you sold off of over here. But I think there's a chance we go straight through it. I don't think we're going to find the most resistance in it. If we do find resistance in it, you get it with something like that, maybe we end up pulling back over here. We'll put on an extra level for you to pay attention to right there at 523.68. Okay, so let's revise our levels here. We're watching above 521.95. We have 523.68 above there, 525.97 to 527.92. That supply zone. And if you get above 527.92, you're coming probably straight up here to 532. Again, overnight session Thursday, last Thursday, right over here. Okay, you were up here. Okay, I remember seeing you were up, I think it was 531 or 532. I remember seeing that. All right, which tells us we can get through this area. Okay, you can see it right over here. See how you shot right up there? Well, it tells me that, hey, if we get this thing moving and grooving, there's a chance we come over here and just flip it into demand and then push up to the next area, which is going to be right up there. Okay. All right. So that's where we're watching on the upside over here on QQQ. Now, let's just say you gap up over here into the supply zone up here, 525.97. Well, at that point, I would be looking for you to pull back a little bit. Let's say the 15-minute RSI opens up overbought tomorrow. Well, maybe we pull back to this 523.68 level. Maybe we end up filling the gap from today, and then we would carry on from there. Okay. So that would be, our bullish scenario on a gap up. All right, you'd be looking for the retest of 523.68 and then for it to continue. Doesn't mean it has to pull back to retest that, guys. I'm telling you, I think we're about to get an explosive move over here in the market, and it's coming out of a sea of doubt. I need you guys to understand there's a sea of doubt every single time. I will look like an idiot every time when I'm making these calls. Well, not after the fact, but I'm going to look a little freaking crazy, okay, during the time. That's why right over here on this video, I think it was somewhere over here. Maybe it was down here, okay? I just remember there. I'm pretty sure it was over here. Once we started, moving here, I was like, call me a little crazy, all right? But I think Mag 7 stocks, I think everything as a whole is set up, we're more likely going to bounce. And that's what I was looking for. I don't remember which video it was open in 5 minutes. I was like, call me a little crazy, okay? Because I'm a little crazy. You got to be a little crazy sometimes because the crowd is typically wrong 100% of the time. All right. And I don't like to think with the crowd. I'm sorry. Okay. On the downside, we got 521.95, 519.23, and 515.97. Why was this a blue level today? Because that was Henry Boy's bullish trigger level over here for upside that he gave to the Discord this morning. Okay. Like I said, if you are having trouble over here putting out levels on your chart that's going to get reactions, steal my levels. I put out a video Monday through Thursday. Okay, and then we have a weekly update coming out on the weekend, every single weekend. We've been doing it for like 3 years now. Okay, you could go back. All right, you could see we have a lot of track record there. We have our yellow brick road. All right. If you are someone who is struggling with that and you want real-time help, if you want to come join the live streams with me, if you want those game plans, you want a game plan on SPY and QQ and QES, as well as 1 to 2 option trades every day, the link is going to be down below. Just click on that and you come join me in the Discord and we will have a good time. All right. But as of right now, guys, I'm just saying, I don't think it's not too complicated over here. You're likely going to be a pumping. Okay. So I will give you some stuff to watch out for in this video. We're going to go over the MAG 7 stocks here. MAG's ETF, guys, you did end up coming down, almost filling this gap at 51.55. And now you are pushing back up 52.88. If you take out that level there, I'm assuming you're probably going to start pushing back up to 53.71. And at that point, this area is going to act as a magnet. Okay, the next spot above there is 55.83. We'll just look at how the weekly chart looks, guys. Does that look all that bad? Imagine what's going to look like when you extend through the high over here and you get it really going. Okay, we could get a boom boom candle going over here. Now, Meta over here, this is the stock, MAG 7 stocks that I was saying was looking the best. Okay, it's clear as day. It's the one that's set up right now. All right, everything else looks like you know, it had some indecision going on here. Well, Meta over here, oh, we knew, you know, all along, sits over here. This was the stock that we pointed out that was likely going to start pushing up. Above 662, what did we say, guys? 675.25. Well, you know what? You got 673.26 today. We're close enough. We are going higher. You see the increasing volume on these past 2 days. You see how, you know, you're consolidating. Look at that lower volume. Boom. You start getting these boom boom candles. What do you got going on? Volume starting to spike. Okay, just like this over here. And then, as we say, you had that continuation that next day. I think we could have a similar situation on our hands where you get the continuation. If you do take out 688.65, this move is going to be a little bit crazier than I thought, and you're probably going to keep grinding higher. All right. So above 675.25, we have 688.65 above there. That's this level right over there. Next spot is up there. Okay. And then if you do end up pulling back, we're watching 662.67. Ideally, that would hold. The best case scenario here for, you know, anyone who's not in this and wants to get in it is you come all the way back down here, 653.32, return back to scene of the crime, and then you can move up from there. I don't think that's going to happen. I think if any pullback comes, it's probably just going to be defended at 662.67, considering the whole market saw what happened today. Okay, so that's Meta over there. Coming over here to Tesla. All right, Tesla's one. I know. Call me a little freaking crazy. I'm a nut job. I'm crazy, okay? Pull back, reversion to the mean, 21 EMA, held 331.39, did not make a new low over here. If we start pushing back up, get above 354.99, I'm going to say swing low is in, probably going to take out swing high at 367.71, and then we're going to 384, baby, and then 401.34. All right, follow the yellow brick road, okay? Just like that. And I do think the low is probably in as of right now. But if it gets taken out 331.39 tomorrow, then your boy is wrong. And maybe, just maybe, we come down here. And then we go back up. Why? You have the 200 DMA here. Now, I've been talking about most bullish months over here. June, July. I know. It didn't pump off the news. We were thinking it was going to pump. I still think this thing is probably about to hit the jets. Okay? I think a lot of people are about to be surprised over here on Tessie. NVIDIA. Well, does that look all that bad? No, it doesn't look all that bad. Above 137.40, we have 139.62. If you can reclaim that level, 139.62. I got my alert right there. Set your alerts right there. All right, we're talking 143.44. The high of day over here was 143.49. Again, if you don't have levels that are giving you your reactions, steal my freaking levels. I go over the MAG 7 stocks. I go over SPY and QQ. You don't need to trade anything else to have a good time in the market and have consistent success. I give you everything you need to have that consistent success. You don't need to be shooting for the moon. When we do shoot for the moon, all right, it's on stocks like this, and they go a little crazy. And I think it's going to keep going a little crazy. We'll talk about it a little in the end. Okay, but that's the video over here. Price does end up pulling back, guys. Honestly, it just wouldn't be a good look. Okay, we're gonna mark out today's low. Okay, 135.40. This is your bear scenario over here on NVIDIA, and if NVIDIA is pulling back, I imagine the rest of the market's probably not going to be, you know, pushing up all that strong. Meta over there is looking good, but we're gonna come over here to my next favorite MAG 7 stock. I gave you Meta before it ripped. I said it was the only one that I was really thinking, hey, this thing's ready to go. If the market does support this move, then this thing's going to rip. Over here on Amazon, this is the next one that can rip. You now have buyers defending the 200 DMA twice in a row. You did end up coming down, filling the gap. We'll just take off that level. We're going to mark out 201.70 right there. We have a new swing low to pay attention to, guys. Trigger level for this is 206.85, guys. Above 206.85, we're talking 208.85. Okay, right up there. The high was 208.81. All right, but we're talking 208.85, that gap right there. And then above there, we're talking 211.93. If you get a little crazy, you get above there, which I think is about to happen. We're talking 216.20, baby. All right, coming over here to Apple. Apple, guys, the real level to pay attention to is going to be 203.81. Get above 203.81. You're above the daily 21. All right, I imagine you're probably going to be pushing 206.75 very quick. So I would say the very safe move here is, if you're taking, a day trade, weekly trade, you're trading shorter dated contracts. All right, there's really all you need to have a good, 50 to 100% gainer on your hands right there. That $3 move from 203.81 up to 206.75. All right, now, I think there's a solid chance you push right up here to 209.48. And as we can see, that's where your 0.786 Fibonacci retracement is. Get above 209.48. But, even just the fact that you'd be testing there, I think you're probably going to push up here 214.56. Guys, we know what happens above 214.56. That's why we got the alert there. All right. This 200 DMA acts as a magnet. All right. All this consolidation, this range that's going on, we'll just take the bulk of the price action, determine our range. It's going to be right here, guys. 20 freaking schmeckles. You get above here, we're good. Oh my God, we're going crazy. Okay, so that's Apple. Those are the thoughts on Apple. I'm not really too interested in right here. You get above here, I think we get this very clean trade going on right here. This $3 move, you get your 50 to 100% out of that. But really, you get above right here, it starts this move. Okay, because we know if you get above here, you're likely having the 100% retracement, which is going to bring you back to 214.56. Okay, well, it's going to be right here. This is the 100% retracement of this Fibonacci retracement I got going on right there, that golden pocket. Okay, but, if you do test that level, hey, you're very likely just going to test 214.56. And at that point, yeah, all right, let's see if we get a daily close and start to move to the 200 DMA. You're probably going a lot higher if that becomes the case. That's Apple. Coming over here to GOOG. All right, GOOG, all right. You got the gap down. You got bought up. Above 170.65, you're watching 173.44. Above there, 176.90. I personally would not be focusing on GOOG right now. I told you guys which Mag 7 is stock to focus on. I know Tesla decided to, do this, but I definitely gave it to you over here, gave it to you over here, gave it to you over here. And now I'm going to say I still think it's going to be a big winner over here into June and July. Okay. Very beginning of June over here. First trading session of June. It's Monday, guys. Okay. This monthly candle, you guys saw how the last one closed out here. We now have a lower wick going on here. That looks good. I think this is probably going to take out last month's high and head up to 384 to 400 in the short term. All right. But I told you guys what to watch over here. And I told you guys what to watch coming into this week. And now I'm telling you right now, Amazon is definitely the one to focus on. Okay. So I personally wouldn't be focused on Apple. There's just not really a reason to, okay? You guys got to understand in this game, there are times to focus on certain tickers, and if a certain ticker is not, if it's not doing what you wanted, and other things are setting up and doing what you want to switch. You want to pivot. There's going to be a time when you could play your stock, but it's not right now. It's proven to you that it's not right now. We're here to make money. I want you guys to make freaking money, okay? So if your stock is not performing over there, I'll continuously give you the ones that are setting up right now. I'm telling you, Amazon, this is a picture-perfect reversion to the mean 200 DMA test. You held it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trading sessions on the test. The thing is about a rocket ship. Okay, so keep it on the radar. Above 208.85. I'm just going to take that level off. We're going to mark a new one. 208.81. The thing's going to freaking move. Okay, but above 206.85. That's clearly where, we haven't gotten a daily close above here. You got rejection right there. That's where the move begins. Above 208.81, though, I'm willing to bet that you get this move right here, and I'm going to be hopping on that bad boy right there. Okay, so this is going to be my focus going into tomorrow. Last one, Microsoft, guys, you got a tight 5-day range going on here. You are about to break out of that range. This range is going for $6.50, okay, 6.5 bucks. New all-time high. Incoming over here on Microsoft. You heard it first. I told you before it happened. But, I'm just going to say now it's looking even more so. The thing wants to go. All right. And I think it's going to move above 462.52. We're talking 468. And then you're in price discovery mode, guys. We're talking 475, 480, 485, 490. You go $5 increments, your psychological levels right there. They probably will be more respected than not. All right. So that was the Mag 7 stocks, guys. Now I'm just going to conclude this video with some of my trade ideas going into the coming sessions. Okay. First things first, I gave you a little sneak peek. All right. This is something that just got awarded a contract with CRWV. NVIDIA also does own this. Okay, so CRWV, this is NVIDIA's top holding here before it ended up running. And now it's freaking, it has moved. We all watched what happened here. This is $60 billion market cap, $57 billion market cap. These guys just awarded these guys over here a contract. And they think over the next 7 years, it's going to bring in $15 billion of revenue. I know you guys can't see the side of my screen right now. I'm gonna try and drag it over. Hopefully you guys... Oh, no, it doesn't let me drag it over. Okay. It's not going to show the market cap right there. Okay, but it's sitting at $2.28 billion. NVIDIA invested them. They just got a contract that over the next 7 years, they're probably going to be bringing in $15 billion. Okay, or no, I got that backwards. I read that this morning. Over the next 15 years, they think it's bringing in $7 billion. It doesn't freaking matter. It's billions of dollars we're talking about. The market is forward looking. This thing just closed out with the heaviest volume it's had ever. Okay, on the day, you look at the weekly volume, it's already stemming up above what it's gone all of these months all of these weeks right here. The thing's going to highs. It's going to 1248. It's taking that bad boy out. I don't know if it's coming all the way up here, but I know what happened on CRWV. I pointed it out as ARM 2.0, something that was probably just going to keep getting bid up once it got going. I thought we were going to get a pullback. We didn't get it. All right. I know these things, once they start moving, they run away from you. I'm in early. I'm on the ground floor on this one. I'm going to hold my position. I got 620 calls. I'm going to sell those, and I'm going to write out the 718 calls. All right. 620 calls. I'm going to sell them when we start pushing to highs, write out the 718 calls. And that'll be that, okay? But this is one that I think just started, okay? Pullbacks are buying opportunities. Heaviest volume it's ever had today. Last time it had this type of volume. But again, you know, it had heavier volume. This was literally only 150 million over here. And this was 240 million shares traded, okay? The next day after this 65% day, we just had a 50% day. This was a 65% day, okay? You pulled back 20%. From the high, it was actually 24%. Just didn't show it right here. All right, but 24%. And then, even from that high right there it made, you still went another 15% that fallen session. From the low, you could have gotten this opportunity. And this is what I'm putting on your radar right now. If you guys see the pullback, okay, it's a clear as day buying opportunity. It's a spec stock. It's one that, you know, I just explained the thesis behind it. Charts are looking freaking sexy, okay? If you didn't get in over here with us, guess what? All right. If you get that pullback, that's your chance. Okay. You don't have to take the chance. Do with this information whatever you want to do. Okay. But I told you, there's not a channel that does it like us here on this YouTube platform. There's just not. It's a very underrated channel. Still don't get it, but I will keep doing my darn best to provide as much damn value as possible to you people. All right. So we can make money in this freaking market together. Okay. I'm telling you right now. 73.93 over here on Bros. The thing is getting ready to rip, boys. It's getting ready to freaking rip. And I know we got women in the audience. It's getting ready to rip, boys and girls. It's getting ready to rip. All right. You can check it out over here on the 4-hour chart. You're in this range going on here. I think it's about to break up. If you can get moving and grooving over 73.93. Oh, baby. We're going straight to 80.62. I told you guys about this down here. Okay. It's now all the way up here. And I'm telling you right now, this is PLTR 3.0. I put on PLTR 2.0 on your radar. I told you, nobody does it like us on this channel. People are going to shove their freaking services down your throat. They're going to pump their freaking services. Okay, I mention it like once a video because I don't want to do that. Okay, I want people to make money off my content. And then if you want to come, you know, get extra stuff, if you want to come, you know, thank me, okay, and you want to come trade with me, you can do that. I'm not one of these fucking scammers out there. Pardon my French. Hood. All right. This was PLTR 2.0. We now got PLTR 3.0 on deck, and we about to bank on it. All right, you pull back to the short-term moving average over here on the weekly time frame. This thing's about a freaking rip, ladies and gents. 73.93 above there. We're talking 80.62. Walmart, I put it on your radar. It's one of the trade ideas we got coming into this week. I gave you the exact game plan. I pointed out the breakout entry above 99.49 and also the retest off of 98.24 as your best entry there. Guess what? You came down, you retested 98.24, you almost tested the trend line here, and then you push back through high of day, close above 99.49. That's our trigger level over here for the move up to 102.55. I even told you the exact contracts. Like I said, no one does it like us here on YouTube. All right, above 99.49, we're talking 102.55, the 718 105C. You get that move. They're going 100%. Okay, I don't know the exact numbers because I don't have it. I wrote it down in the focus list, okay? I looked at, that's where that is, but it's not fresh in my mind right now. I'm pretty sure we're going to be up 100% if you get up here to 102.55, okay? I'm pretty sure if I get the $5 move, I'm up 200%, but I don't have the exact numbers right here with me right now. Next one, SMCI. Pull back to the 200 DMA. Got buyers here, got buyers here. You found buyers off the 21 EMA the past 2 trading sessions. All right, guys, above 43.09, this thing goes to 44.99. Above there, 47.80. And then we're talking this trend line. I don't know if it's going to break, but I'll tell you right now, this thing isn't consolidating in a falling wedge pattern right here. And I know a thing or two about these, little consolidation patterns going on here, okay? You might even, we'll come down to the 4-hour and just get a better picture of that. Honestly, we're just going to leave it at this trend line, okay? Let's watch and see if you break this trend line. That would be a break above 43.09. We'll just make that our blue level over here, that little trigger level for this trade idea. All right, above there, this thing could get cooking. All right, this thing could definitely get going. You have this tight range going on here after this big impulsive move up. And do you guys see what I see? Do you see what I see? It's a beautiful picture for SMCI. We're probably about to rip. Take this do what you want with this. It's a speculative stock. I'm not telling anybody to get into this. I just gave you so many freaking trade ideas right there that you can make these 100, 200% gains on even July calls. All right? You don't got to risk things for the biscuit. You don't. This is one, if you want a little sauce, a little extra there. Here's over here SMCI. PLTR. You got the breakout above 133.49. You did not close above. We're going to be watching for the retest over here of 127.88. And that's personally where I am going to consider taking an entry over here. Again, you don't have to do anything with these, but I will keep my promise to put the hot stocks, these setups that are moving right now, consistently on your radar. And PLTR is one that I'm going to say from the monthly down to the weekly, down to the daily. It looks like it's probably going to be running up. All right, 150, July calls, July 18, 150C, $15 move, 100% gain. That's the math. You get a pullback over here, you're up 100% by the time you get up here to like 142, 143. Contract premiums are going to pump, so I imagine you're going to be up a little bit more than that, but stock is, it's definitely working over here, okay? And one other that's working that just got a fresh breakout above its current high, 66.91, is Hood. All right. There's also one we pointed out at the end of the weekly update there. All right. This thing was in a tight range going on here. This is a range of about $4.50. It currently has only went $1. It is probably going 70 plus. It's probably going to 71 in the short term. Next few trading sessions, that's what I would think is going to happen there. Okay. Now, aside from that, guys, the only one I am paying attention to, we got Oklo. Okay, but aside, I'm not really too eager to be playing Oklo here. We banked off that guy. I told you, I'll put the hot stocks on your radar as they're happening. I put it on your radar. This video right here. All right. Now, unfortunately, it gapped up massively the next day. But you got a great entry off the open over here if you decide to take it. And you caught a ripper. I'm telling you right now, Oklo above 54.36. I'm going to set my alert for right there. We're talking 59.14 incoming. And I do still think 70 to 80 is possible here on that rip. Okay? That is Oklo. Next one. We're talking HIMS over here. This is really the last one I got over here for, as far as hot stocks go, things that are ready to rip, they're ready to go. HIMS, okay? Same situation as PLTR, all right? You got the breakout. You did get the close above your trigger level, 56.52 over there, all right? But you didn't get the most bullish close as the rest of the market is just, looking absolutely amazing, All right. So I'm thinking we could pull back here. All right. Maybe you gap down tomorrow, 54 bucks. Ideally, you gap down 54 bucks. You close the day out with a bullish engulfing candle just like over here. And then we get that next leg moving and grooving. On the weekly chart over here, we could see we got a little range going on here. If this thing does happen to span above here, oh, baby, we're coming to all-time highs, 72.98. I think we can all agree this thing looks like it probably is going to get up here to all-time highs, and I think that move is just starting. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow because of, like I just said, we could pull back with how this thing just closed out here, but what happens there is going to really tell us what's happening next, okay? If you pull back down here, 54, 55 bucks, close the day out, you know, above today's close, pretty much, we'll have a bullish engulfing candlestick, and we probably will continue pumping off of that. All right. And this is actually the exact thing I'm talking about right here, where you hit it with the gap down, and then you close with the bullish engulfing candlestick. Now, hopefully we do end up getting this 20% day over here. I'm not expecting anything crazy like that to start up. I think July contracts are the safe ones over here on HIMS. All right. Which honestly, across the board, I think July contracts are the safe ones. Like most of these tickers, okay, the July contracts compared to the June contracts, we're talking, you know, they're going to be up like 40 to 50% more by the time they hit your target, okay? That's when I was, you know, doing my research over the weekend, putting together the focus list on these hotspot stocks specifically that I'm talking about right here, all right? That's how the premiums are set up, okay? Like July contracts, I think it's worth the safety to have the extra 30 days. I will sacrifice a little gains for it. At the end of the day, you're still getting some bangers in, okay? With that being said, guys, if you did enjoy today's video, please remember to leave a like. Please do. I appreciate it. The YouTube algorithm very much so appreciate it. Let's pump this stock, baby. And with that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.